So, like always, I appreciate you guys being on here and covering Penn State football. I do have something I want to give you guys an update on that we hadn't really had a chance to talk about until recently. So, through internal testing and second opinions, Journey Brown will no longer be able to play football. It was discovered through a routine COVID-19 test. Although it is not COVID related. We learned about this in early September, and we've been working through this and dealing with this as a team. You know, Journey's one of the most popular and respected players on our team, and we found out about this in early September. The entire organization has rallied behind Journey and his family. We need Nittany Nation to do the same, as I know we will. Journey's handled this unbelievably well, and I know he'll be extremely successful in whatever he decides to do. He's been serving as an assistant coach, running backs coach. Has been very involved. He's been traveling to all the games and all those types of things, but this is something that we found out about, like I said, in early September, and then we were able to, go outside and get some second opinions, and it was confirmed exactly what our doctors here thought on campus. And Journey will be putting out a statement here sometime this evening or tomorrow. So I know that's been something that's been kind of hanging out there, and you guys had questions about, but that obviously that came as a huge blow in September for our team. So just wanted to update you guys on that.
We'll start with Corey Geiger and Mark Brennan, you're on deck.
Hi, James. When
Hey, Corey.
did you find out about the Maryland situation? And has the Big Ten been in contact with Penn State about just possibilities, who players that were in contact with whomever on the field?
Yeah, we started to obviously find out. I think there was some phone calls last night, and then there was some emails back and forth this morning. Fortunately for us, we get tested every single day, and really doesn't seem like, knock on wood, I hate to say anything before it's all done, but up to this point, we haven't shown any of that. Knock on wood, I hate to say that because I see all these programs and coaches say things and then it changes in 24 to 48 hours. So as of right now, we haven't had any impact from the game as it relates to COVID at this stage.
Mark Brennan and Tyler Donahue, you're on deck.
James, how much does your heart go out to Journey? Obviously, you know what football means to him. And can you talk about maybe the perspective that something like this lends? You guys are struggling a little bit as a team, but, real life-wise, he obviously was hit with something pretty serious here. Yeah,
It's heartbreak. And when it happened, and when we found out about it, you're in shock. You feel physically sick about it, and you're just in shock. So you hurt for the kid. Obviously it's magnified because of all the conversations that were going on nationally about Journey, and what he was going to be able to do this season. But I'll tell you that the kid has been phenomenal. He's handled it better than I think anybody I've ever been around. He's going to be very successful. And I don't know if he wants to stay in football or whatever he decides to do, but he's going to be unbelievably successful. And I know our team is going to, continue to support him and rally around him. We've been doing it, since September. And, I know the Nittany Nation will, I'm going to try to get him hooked up, obviously, that video, that segment that went out the other night. I'm going to try to get those two connected because I think, he could be a support for him.
Tyler Donahue and Dubias, you're on deck.
James, first off, sorry that you had to deliver that news tonight. Tough. That's tough. I want to speak more about Journey. Just clarifying, football career, not just at Penn State, but in general, is done.
Yeah, it's done.
Can I ask you to describe what you saw last November and into the Cotton Bowl? 5 games where Journey looked as good as any running back in the country.
Yeah, and I think that's what made this news so hard on everybody, because we knew what type of player he could be for Penn State, but also for his future. It's one thing that you come in as a freshman and you don't pass the physical, and that's hard to go through. But as much success as he's had, that it makes it even more challenging. So, so it's you just feel for the kid, and it's been he's a special kid.
Dubias Wilborn and Audrey, you're on deck.
Wow, Coach. I had a totally different question I was going to ask you, but I don't even know if it's appropriate at this point. With everything that just came out, obviously there's been a lot of talk about distractions, things of that nature. I mean, how much has this weighed on not only you, but him, but the team at large, not on the field, but just the person?
Well, I think I think sometimes when you guys hear the players talk about, distractions and things like that are going on, and they don't get into the details of it, these are some of the things that have been kind of happening behind the scenes, and then, obviously then Journey goes down, in the first drive. There's just been a lot of things that the guys have been managing and working through. So, yeah, but the teammates have been great, and the staff has been great, and I know how our fan base is. I know how passionate our fan base is, and I know after losses how passionate they can be. But I also know how much they rally around situations like this, and he's going to need it. And I think the other thing is, it's not just short term. It's long term. We're gonna have to continue to support him, not just for the next few days.
Audrey Snyder, Nate Bauer, you're on deck.
Hey James, I wanted to ask about your kicking situation. We saw Jake Pinniger Saturday night come out. I guess do you guys have an update on the kind of the range for those guys, and in terms of has it changed at all with Jake, and where you guys feel comfortable with him at?
Yeah, same as it was last year. Jake was going to handle all the field goals based on practice reps and what he had done in games. So it was same as it was last year. I think it was 49 and in was Jake, and 50 and above was Stout. Part of it too is it's hard to have Stout be the kickoff guy, the punter guy, and the field goal guy. It's hard to practice all those things. And obviously, Jake is, last year is one of the best kickers in the country. So we went into this, with the same approach.
Bauer, Ben Jones, you're on deck.
Hey, James. I'm not exactly sure how to word this, but have you experienced joy or any form of enjoyment through this season? Have there been moments or times where you've experienced that this year?
Well, let me, I guess, say this, Nate. I'm very aware of how blessed I am and how fortunate I am with my family and being here at Penn State and being in this community and what I've been able to be a part of for 10 years and 7 years here at Penn State. But this is obviously this has been a challenging year, And there's things behind the scenes going on, like you guys just found out about today, that were very difficult. Journey Brown is like a son to me, really is. It's been a challenging year. It's been a challenging year, but the year's not over. We have an opportunity to experience some joy on Saturday, and that's where all of our focus and energy is at.
Ben Jones and Joe Giuliano, you're on deck.
James, it seems silly to talk about football, so I won't. How much of this job is emotional management for you, and how hard is it to do that when you are very rarely the guy that is openly unhappy or openly sad or openly just not at 100%? Is that harder when you kind of join them in that sort of grieving process?
Yeah, I think, to your guys' frustration, sometimes I try to be consistent with my approach. I don't come in and show, the emotion sometimes, the anger and frustration, although I may be feeling it. I think it's really important to present a consistent message as much as I possibly can. But yeah, my degree in psychology from the number one psychology school in the country, East Stroudsburg, has been helpful over my 10 years. But I think your point is a good one. I gotta give the team the face that they need to see, on a consistent basis, and understand, to that point, Ben, some of the changes we made this week, which I think, are critical, is we had our first team meeting yesterday. Just a change that I felt like we needed to make. I'm a relational leader, and talking on Zoom sessions every single day to the team, it just doesn't have the same type of connection. So we did in-person team meetings in Haluba, had everybody spread out in Haluba, and did it in person. That was Tuesday. I had to explain how to have a team meeting. Half the players didn't know how we do team meetings. 4 of the staff members didn't know how we do team meetings. And that was the best practice we've had this year on Tuesday. Based on state laws, and we've had our entire team broke up in 3 locker rooms. I'm not sure if you guys noticed or not. We got players in Pagula, we got players in Haluba, and we got players in Lash. And based on guidelines, we were able to get a few more players into Lash, and then a few more players into Haluba. So rather than being in 3 locker rooms, we could be in 2. And get more of that chemistry that we need and want. So we're trying to make some changes like that we think are important. And I guess to your point, Ben, I felt as connected with the team on Tuesday after having an in-person team meeting as I felt in a while. And I don't want that to be misinterpreted. I'm just saying, sitting on a Zoom call trying to engage your team and to try to motivate your team, and you've been doing that for I don't know how long, we just felt like that needed to change. So I think they felt better, and I know that I felt better. I know that I felt better getting up in front of them face to face.
Time for 2 more. We'll start with Joe Giuliano and go to Parth Padre.
Good evening, James. How much of a distraction do you think COVID is to your kids? I know they're trying to, focus on football, but the uncertainty of the COVID case. What effect do you think that has on your players?
Well, this is what I would say, Joe. Is at the end of the day, we got to get it done no matter what. But I will tell you, It all these things have had an impact. And I know they've had an impact on me. I have spent a lot of time on non-football things, whether that's throughout the day, whether that's out at practice. And I know that was one of the things. And again, I don't want this to be misinterpreted. We are staying vigilant in attacking, making sure our protocols keep everybody as safe and healthy as we possibly can. But during practice, I'm going to let the trainers and the doctors manage COVID, and I'm going to coach football. And I know that sounds ridiculous, but I've been spending a lot of time trying to manage those other things as well. And I feel like I got a responsibility as a head coach, but I also have a responsibility to make sure that we play well. So it's just been a lot of different things going on, and every state is different in how they deal with it, and every school is different in how they deal with it. Every doctor is different in how they deal with it. Every head coach is different in how they deal with it. And I took that role and that job very serious, and I still do.
And Perfect Padres.
Coach, thanks so much for doing this. We got a chance to talk to Juice this afternoon, Juice Scruggs, and he kind of detailed some of the emotions that he felt, being back on the field, 20 months after his car accident on Saturday. What did that mean for you to see him back out there?
Yeah, our trainer got up in front of the team the other day, I think it was Tuesday, and got real emotional about it. I think some of you guys that covered that closely, I mean, that was a serious car accident. So to see that kid battle back and sacrifice and do all the things that he had to do to get back, in a position to be able to play and be able to play at a high level. We think he's got a very bright future. We're very excited about him when we got him and when he showed up on campus. And to see him back is cool. I think it's a couple things. It's special for the kid and it's special for our program, but it's also amazing what medicine can do now. What doctors and hospitals are able to do now. It's pretty amazing that young man is back and going to be able to play at a high level, because it was a very serious car accident that he was in.
Thank you very much.